Someone lived in that attic for days, eating their food, sleeping under their roof, watching them, and not one of them made it out alive. This is a true story. A farm in Bavaria, 6 bodies, a killer who was never caught, and a mystery that German police still cannot close over 100 years later. March 1922, a farm called Hinterkaifeck. Nothing but frozen fields for miles. The nearest town, too far to hear a scream. Weeks before the murders, the family's maid quit. She told neighbors she heard footsteps in the attic at night. Footsteps where no one was supposed to be. She heard a voice whispering through the ceiling boards. She left and never came back. The family stayed. Then the farmer, Andreas Gruber, found something in the snow. Footprints leading from the edge of the forest straight to his front door. No footprints leading away. He searched the barn, the house, the attic. Nothing. But that night, he heard footsteps on the roof, directly above his bedroom. Something was already inside. A set of house keys vanished. Then, a newspaper the family had never subscribed to turned up on their table, like it had been left as a message or a warning. Andreas told a neighbor he was afraid. A man who had farmed that land his whole life, afraid of his own house. He hired a new maid. Her name was Maria Baumgartner. She arrived on the last day of March 1922. She never left the property again. For 4 days, no one from Hinterkaifeck came into town. No smoke from the chimney that neighbors noticed. No one collecting mail. On the farm that never missed a market day, silence. On April 4th, a group of neighbors finally walked up that same frozen path. Lorenz Schlittenbauer among them, a man who knew the family well. What they found inside would haunt Bavarian police for the next century. In the barn, beneath loose straw, they found 4 bodies. Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and Victoria's 7-year-old daughter, also named Cecilia. All 4 had been killed with a mattock, a farming tool, the kind used to break frozen soil. Someone had turned a tool from their own barn into a weapon, then hidden the bodies under the very straw the family used to feed their animals. Inside the farmhouse, 2 more. Victoria's 2-year-old son, Josef, and the new maid, Maria, killed in her bed on her very first night in that house. 6 victims, 1 farm, and investigators quickly realized something that made their blood run cold. The killer hadn't struck once and fled. The family's dog was found still chained in the yard, alive but half-starved, its throat raw from screaming. Someone had fed the animals in the days after the murders. Someone had eaten meals in that kitchen. A fire had burned in the stove long after the family was already dead. Whoever killed them stayed. For days, someone lived inside that house of corpses, sleeping under the same roof as 6 bodies hidden in the barn and the beds, cooking food, feeding livestock, playing a part as if the family were simply away. Why would a killer stay? Investigators had a theory almost immediately, and his name was already known to police. Lorenz Schlittenbauer, one of the men who discovered the bodies, had a complicated history with the family. Years earlier, he'd fathered a child with Victoria, the same little Josef found dead in his crib. Rumors in the village whispered something darker still, that Victoria's older daughter may not have been fathered by her husband at all, but by Andreas himself, her own father. Whispers of incest inside that isolated farmhouse. Motives layered on motives. Schlittenbauer was questioned, released, questioned again decades later in the 1950s, never charged. He wasn't the only name investigators considered. Victoria's husband, Carl, had gone missing in the First World War, presumed dead. Some villagers swore he'd secretly returned, that he'd been the one hiding, watching his wife raise another man's child under his roof. Was the ghost in the attic a husband no one knew had come home? No proof, only shadows and rumors that grew colder with every passing year. Police at the time made a catastrophic error. They didn't seal the crime scene. Locals wandered through, curious, some even stealing items from the house before evidence could be cataloged. Whatever fingerprints, whatever fibers, whatever truth the farmhouse still held, it was trampled into nothing within hours. The murder weapon itself was cleaned, put back in the barn, as if the killer wanted the world to simply move on. In 2007, nearly a century later, investigators exhumed the remains, hoping modern DNA science might finally name a killer. They tested, they compared, they searched for a match against Schlittenbauer's descendants. The results were inconclusive, too degraded, too much time. The house itself was torn down in 1923. Villagers said no one could bear to live there. Today, nothing marks the spot but empty farmland and a small monument, easy to miss if you don't know to look for it. Somewhere in that Bavarian soil, a killer's identity was buried and never recovered. A person who broke into a family's life, hid in their attic, listened to their footsteps, waited, and then erased 6 people from the earth, and afterward sat at their table, slept in their beds, fed their animals, and simply walked away into the fields, never to be named. The footprints in the snow led into that farmhouse. They never led back out. If you enjoy true crime documentaries like this, subscribe for more unsolved mysteries.